about 5 seconds, and then it goes live.
There is something about new timeout lengths. I don't know if it
You
is.
can now put people in timeout for different lengths ranging from 10 to 24 hours. Oh, that's it. Got it. If you piss us off, you're going in a timeout. YouTube said so. Here you go, Karl. That's what happens when you touch my phone. Where are we?
Yep.
And why am I still posting?
We are in Selje. We just got here, so Karin is still posting for a little bit. But as you can see out the window, this is not Gudvangen.
Where is Selje?
Selje, if you know where Gudvangen is and you go out to that fjord and then go up north until you would have to turn east to continue, then you are about at the right place.
Why are we in Selje? What do you have here?
I have parents here.
Yep. It was a last minute trip. But we haven't seen your parents in a while, so it's about time we come back.
No, Karin managed to fix the vertical thing by...
Yeah, it's a new setting. It actually said, would you like to go in vertical mode? Recommended. And I never saw that before. That's new. So I'm like,
Yep.
hell no! I don't care how much you recommend it. I'm going horizontal. It's so much better. So, yay.
But we don't have a gimbal and we are kind of struggling through it right now.
Yep, it was very last minute. We got here later than anticipated due to sidetrack. But we had to go shopping and it was so worth it. Go ahead, tell us.
Torben is here.
Crap's sake, but we could resume this time. We could resume. We don't have to make crap's sake, but we could resume this time. We could resume. We don't have to make another take two. Okay, you were telling the story.
What story was it telling?
Torben came.
Yeah, Torben is here. We were listening to his podcast in the car on our way here. That is, Karin was listening. I was trying to sleep, but she laughed so loudly when he talked about what he was going to do with his honey that she woke me up.
Go ahead. Tell the story.
Well, apparently he's going to make a lot of money selling honey to gullible Vikings in Gudvangen.
So they can make mead. Because apparently there's not enough honey in Norway anymore, huh?
No, that actually seems to be a problem. Vermund has been complaining about this for a long time.
Yeah?
You can only buy it in tiny boxes in the supermarkets, and it's very expensive.
Okay, I can put this chat on there, and then we can say hi to people. So now it's a little delayed, but...
Oh, I love this. No, I see myself on her computer screen, and it's always like a 4-second delay.
Yep.
So I get very confused by seeing myself doing the things I did 4 or 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, we just want to see the chat, though, so you can see it easier on the computer. Okay, now we can sit down on the floor.
Don't kick your computer.
I can't help it. My legs are short. Okay. Let's touch that in. Plug that in. Whoop! It's my fingers. Actually, we're upside down here. Okay, we'll do it this way. So, I can turn this around. Hi! And this is our beautiful view. I don't know if Karl showed you that. That was one of those big-ass seagulls. It's not a seagull, it's a what? Oh, it went away, though. A what?
Svartback.
Svartback? Blackback?
Black back or black ass, depending on which
Black
translation you want
ass?
to go with.
Aren't you racist to the seagulls? No.
No, his back part is black. That is what the name means. But back part might mean back as in your back, or it might mean back as in your back.
Okay. So what happened to the mountains out there? I could have swore there was mountains here the other day.
Allegedly, there is a mythical island called Barmen, where Leif Ole is from, somewhere in that fog.
Yeah. Actually, there's quite a few mountains in there. You can kind of see the outline of one.
Just barely see the coastline of it, but let's see if I can do your pointing.
A black
click.
rump. I like that one more. Yeah, no, it's right about there. There's a mountain.
Right about there, you can see the edge of it, but it's very hard to spot today.
Nope. So we're indoors. Okay, let's see if I can turn this around. We're in Karl's bedroom. There's a lot of weapons. This is the room Karl grew up in. So, boats, knives, Christmas star because his mommy loves us. We're not that has to stay up all year round. And then more weapons. Okay. So Karl's kind of creepy. Let's see if we put this here. We can sit. Actually, I was kind of hoping you could see out the window if we sat here, but I don't think you can.
Yeah, no, and also the window is probably so bright that we are going to be shadow puppets if we are sitting in front of it.
Shadow puppets could be fun. We can sit. Well, then we sit over here on the bed. Okay, but we got toys. First, we'll say hi to everybody because I haven't seen them in a while. Let's set this down here because we didn't think to bring the gimbal. This was a last-minute trip unplanned. So join me under the Christmas star, Karl. Karl wore his hat, so we're a little bit Viking today.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to see Nella's here, Heidi Lisa's here. I know Audra and Garcia's here because they were a little worried that we took so long. But we literally walked in the door about 30 minutes ago. Yeah. Raymond's here from Upside Down Land. Susan's here from Frankfurt. By the way, Nella's from Finland, and Heidi's from Norway. Audra's here. She's in Norway as well. Originally Lithuania. No, we didn't bring the Audra beer this week because we're saving it for Hovland. Audra's Hovland.
We have one Audra beer, but it's somewhere. We just came through the doors, and it's somewhere in our packing.
But we got you 2 really big beers, so you better go get started.
Yeah.
Did you bring it in? Yeah, what we did get. But we're going to save the Audra beer for when Audra's Hovland can help taste it in Gudvangen. Okay, then I'll keep seeing who else who's here. Audra says, it looks like Karl needs more beer. Oh, yeah. No, he's got, I think we've got 4 left. So we're saving those for some good, in Gudvangen. Because they're huge. And so we need to share those with Audras Hovland as well. And plus, we promised him he could have some of the Lithuanian beer because he saw it and he's like, Audra beer. So we have to share. Lindsay's here. She made it. Finding the dough. I'm glad you made it. We almost didn't make it, but I'm glad you did. Raymond is here as well. Oh, was it Ravro? I better behave. Albert is here in Brumunddal. Let's see. And yeah, the phone isn't stuck in vertical mode anymore. I figured it out. Damn updates from YouTube. I should probably read them. Let's see. Torben is here, as we said. Torben's podcast, Quarantena Pills, is back up again. I think he's just had released episode 5 today. We finally got a chance to, because we had a road trip, so perfect time. We watched the first one, or listened to it. Torben, Karl and I might have to invest in some new music noisemakers for you. Every time he switches the subject... every time he switches the subject as to what when they're going to go from like one section of the podcast to the next section of the podcast, like what's in your beer cooler and have you learned anything new, when he changes from one theme to another, he plays a little sound, and it sounds like his kids' toys sounds are getting a little worn out, so we're gonna find you a noisemaker for one of your columns, by the way. But anyway, if you can handle the Sogne dialect in Norwegian, you should check out his podcast. It's quite hilarious. The closer you get to the end, the drunker they get. Susan's here, by the way. Welcome back. Yeah, look at all the weapons. Look like Suze as well. Kaya is here. Hello from Tregden. Merry Christmas. Hi, Kaya. We tried to call you today, but we'll call you after. That's Karl's sister. And Maria is here from Odense Odense at the moment because she's teaching Nalbinding here this weekend, so she's spending the night in the shelter. Karl and I got to sleep in the village again for a while. It's really kind of nice to go back to it. And then Amro is here. She says, a little bit later today, I had to order chocolate. That's okay. We all have excuses, and that was a good one, by the way. All right, so, no, you can't show this beer first. Show the other beer first.
Which other beer?
I told you there's 2 of these beers. There's the one where he looks normal, and then there's one where something happened to him.
Okay.
This is...
I'm not drinking both of these beers, by the way. That's a little bit excessive, don't you think?
Oh, see, okay, we'll figure it out. So, we stopped at Vinmonopolet, where the really good beer lives in Norway, or at least the expensive stuff with higher content. So these are both 9% on this one. Oops.
This one is a little bit weaker.
A little bit weaker. Okay, yeah, I get it now. This one's 6%. Okay, and these are both from Sheen. Sheen has a lot of really cool beers, so we're going to have to try them, but they are massive bottles. So, this is your average guy in Sheen. I think Albert's originally from Sheen. Albert, is this what your family looks like? Pitchfork.
Albert, are you
Piece of
originally
wheat.
from Chin?
I thought he was. I can't remember. He was like in the beer anyway, but he was the one that first got you to drink the Sheen beer. Started out with raspberry, it didn't go well, but you've moved on from there. Anyway, and so this one is called Slotterøl. So this nice little farmer guy with a pitchfork and a thing of weed, and it says Slotterøl. What does that mean?
Harvesting beer.
Harvesting beer. Okay, so we got that one. This is the nice 6% version. But something happened to this guy. I don't know what happened here. Hold that.
Yeah.
He now looks like this. Sorry, I had to fix that. He now looks like this. He's grown a devil horn, a pitchfork, and he's looking a little bit angrier now. Look at those eyebrows. They've gone completely Virginia. And it's called Bervelin. What does Bervelin mean?
Bervelin is one of the many things you say instead of saying the devil.
Sonness. He's talking about the other Albert. I probably am. Okay, so there you go. So now you're going to, and this one, of course, is 9%. So at some point, this nice little guy turns into this and gains some serious alcohol increase. So which one are you going to, you're not going to try both of them. I think you might want to share some with your father today, but you want to just have one?
I'll try the Bervelin, I think.
You're going a little devilish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because...
And where's this from? By the way, it's Sheen, Norway is where?
Chin is a little bit further south on the coast.
Okay, you're done with that. I'm going to go get my needle binding. Yeah.
I believe it is Sunnfjord, not Sogn, but it's in the outer part. If you see on the label, it's kind of hard to spot, but
Sorry, shaking the bed.
right there is the label of the brewery, and it's the most famous geographical trait of Chin. Chinnaklava, it's called, the cleft in Chin. So it's an island, I think, that has this split right down the middle.
Torben says, by the way, you're in for a treat there, Karl. So would you have gone for the evil one too, Torben, or would you have gone straight for the nice guy with the wheat in his mouth and the... Max is here, by the way. Sorry I'm late. No worries, Max. We were almost late ourselves, but we just made it. Anne Moreau says, Belgisch trippel. It is! Ah!
And that's what I suspect. You have seen me drink the Duvel beer from Belgium.
Duvel, yeah.
So that's a Belgian beer named after the devil. This is a Belgian beer named after the devil, but made in Norway. So I think this might be kind of an imitation devil thing.
Yeah?
I don't have my Skarma socks, so I have to open it with a slightly more
Step
modern
away from
device.
the computer. Oh my god!
Uh,
Yeah, you have a Scramasock story today too.
What I do believe, what I believe this is, and I'm not sure, is a Spanish bayonet for jungle warfare from the 1930s. But it should also work as a beer opener.
Yeah, you had a Scramasock's mishap.
Yeah, it disappeared, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's much of a story.
No, okay. Anyway, so we have to... Karl's in the market for a new Scramasox, just saying. It went walkabout.
Okay, the
It's not working.
Spanish beer opener is not working.
Spanish beer opener. How do you make this stuff work on Zoom? Is it just like pop top on yours?
Something with more of a... It's too curved. I have need to find something with sharper edges.
Okay. Maria says, am I making socks? No. Actually, I'm going to show you what I'm making while he figures out his alcoholic issues. What did I do differently here? I just messed up my stitch, though. Anyway. This is that yarn from Rauma. I forget what the crap it's called. I bought 20 of
This
them.
should work.
Oh, there you go.
And this is also Spanish.
What is... I was going to say, that one's got a... Oh, yeah, no, that's working. What is that? Let me see. Okay, explain your weapons, Karl, and then
This
I'll go back to my needle binding in a moment.
Muela knife. They are a kind of cheap Spanish knockoff of a Bowie knife.
Yeah. It's thicker. I don't know if you can see that. Than your Scramasox, isn't it? Looks thicker than your scrama socks.
No, it's about the same.
Ah.
Maybe even a little bit less thick.
Okay. Made in Spain.
Yeah, because it's Spanish.
Its name is Alice or Alce. Anyhow. Okay. Albert is waiting for your socks. You and about 6 other people. No, I forget the name of this. I forgot the name of it. It starts with a V. But it's Railway yarn, and it was something that was kind of new out a couple years ago. I bought about 20 of them. And then we got them, some of them were getting plant-dyed. They were just natural color. So when Lila came, she plant-dyed some of this one. And I think this one, actually, the color is showing up really well on screen. I think this is actually just nettles and iron. But her green turns out better than mine, probably because she doesn't cook them to death. But if you look at it, it's really tightly spun. Which means it's kind of stiff. And like a hard yarn, so the idea of making a hat out of it didn't seem too appealing because I think it wouldn't be very comfortable. It would make a really durable pair of work mittens, I guess. But I have one in this color that she made. So I decided it'll make a great pouch. So, sorry, the thing keeps going. Look at the monster fingers. Anyway, so I'm going to have Karl hold this in a second and he can show you. But I'm using the Dalby stitch on it. It will be a pouch. This is the bottom. So when it's all done, I will sew together the bottom, and I'll make some loops here soon, maybe about one more row, and then another couple row, and it'll have like a tassel here. But needle binding stretches this way, and we all found out what happened to Karl's dice sack in a previous episode. As the more it gets used, the longer and longer it gets. Dalby isn't stretching as much as some other ones, but it will. So I will make, before I do anything with this, I will trace outside it when it's done, and then I will make a lining out of fabric, and I'll make a lining on the inside so the bag cannot stretch longer than the lining itself. And it'll be a little pouch because you can see how stiff it is. We were talking about wood the other day, Greg and I. You want to tell? First, tell me about your beer, and then we got more stories to tell, and I'll show you the Dalby stitch for those of you who don't remember the Dalby stitch.
This beer is, it reminds me of Duel a lot. But with Duel you really taste the alcohol. On this one you don't so much. It might be because it's a little bit more bitter, so you don't notice the alcohol taste as much. I know it's 9%, but my brain hasn't really accepted that fact yet.
No, but you might need to remember that it's 9%. Your poor father, he's not that young anymore, and we still have to make dinner after this.
Yeah, that's... he's not getting an enormous amount of this.
No. Okay, now you get to hold. Let's see if I pick this up. We were using the computer as something to hold it with. If I turn this down like that, Karl, you get to film. It'll be easier.
You want me to film and drink your really strong beer at the same time?
No, I'll take the string beer away for a minute. If you want it back, you have to work for it. Okay, so then I'll show the Dalby stitch. If you haven't done before.
You're probably aware of this, but your phone is getting really hot for some reason.
No, it's just because it was charging. You can take out the plug if you want to, but can you see my fingers?
I can see your fingers.
Okay, so this one is worked over the first, second, and third loop from the end there. 1, 2, 3. But first I will connect. I'm only doing an F1 connection, so one new loop from the front. And then with Dalby, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but you lift the second loop back, go through the third loop towards you, then go back out the second loop, and then go under the first loop and under the leading yarn. And that's Dalby. It's actually related to telemark as well. These are Russian stitches on there. It has nothing to do with Russia. It's just the family name. So F1, take the second loop, be away, go through the back of the third loop, go back out of the second loop, and go under the first loop on your thumb, and then this one. Now, if I wanted to do telemark, I'm running out of yarn here, but telemark, same thing. If I want F1, you go away, pick up the second loop, go back out the first loop, and go forward. But for telemark, the only difference is you go over that yarn instead, and that'll just give you a little bit more of a plaited edge to it. So that's Dalby. And the reason I wanted Dalby is because I thought it gave it such a nice little texture. This kind of reminds me of like little deer tracks. But it is kind of a yellow light. If I take it over to the window in a minute, you can see better what the color is of this yarn. But Lila did such a good job coloring it. I forgot what the name of this yarn is. It starts with a V though, and it's from Rauman. It's only been out for a couple of years, I think. Let's see if I pick this up. And if you lift the computer a second, Karl.
We had Inception there.
You want to hold the computer a minute? Then I can bring it over to the light so they can see the color better. Or the stitch better. There you can see it in the window. Well, it doesn't make the color look any better, but you can see the stitches better. I have a couple of places where my joins are really thick because it's a very tightly spun wool. But I will steam block it and that will fix it. So there you go. That's going to be a pouch. Big enough for an iPhone 12 and maybe a couple of car keys. Okay. Vams! No, it's not Vams. Close though. Maybe it's not even starting with a V and I'm just thinking it is. No, Vams is close though. Vams I really like. It's thicker than this and it's more loosely spun. It's kind of similar to a Cortina welt, but the color chart for Vams is wonderful.
Can you give me my bareback now?
I can give you your bareback now. You did very good filming. Okay.
Do you want me to tell the Greg Wood story?
Tell the Greg Wood story and then we'll catch him on... Oh, wait, no. Vandre. Yeah, it's Vandre. It's actually Vandre. Vandre is the name of the yarn. Thank you, Nella. It's really nice. It's really thick. It's really tightly spun, though, so I think it would make great work mittens, but I think it would be too itchy and stiff as a hat. Okay, tell the Greg... Oh, my God, I totally...
Karin has been making paintings for the shop. Really impressive. We can show them next YouTube, probably.
Yeah, next YouTube we can show them.
Unless somebody has already bought them.
No, I've got pictures.
But there are paintings on wood, and she got this wood from Roger.
Roger Fjaller, yeah.
It's...
He's the one with the really tall wooden shoes in the Viking village.
It's cut-offs from one of his buildings projects. So it's like an inch thick. And another added bonus is that when you put them down, they can kind of stand by themselves. And either Karin had already asked Greg for wood, and Greg couldn't give her wood. But it's Greg's wording.
Greg was offering he had wood.
But Greg's wording when he was explaining this to Karin was like this. I have wood too, but it's not quite as big as Fjallar's and it doesn't stand on its own. So I just had to leave my office, walk into Karin's office and look at Greg and go, do you ever listen to yourself speaking?
Well, I figured she wouldn't want the rotten wood. She didn't want my rotten wood. Some of it's a little rotten. And they're like, no. Fjallar's is bigger and it can stand on its own. And thicker, but it's really too heavy. I don't think I can handle it. I need something a little thinner. It was just going on and on and on and on.
And he doesn't notice it because he is...
But Roger's wood comes straight from the Viking village, man. That's where it...
Yeah. Both Roger and Greg are completely immune to this kind of innuendos. I just don't catch them, and I... Yeah.
So Roger, I don't know if you can remember offhand of any of his innuendos on accident, but he has some really good ones. Rune, too, by the way, has some really funny innuendos.
Rune does it on purpose.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if he's...
Rune knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. But when it comes from Greg or Fjallar, it's never or very rarely on purpose. Oh, no, the island is back.
Oh, the island is back. I can turn it. Let's see. Oh, you're just going to have to go with the monster fingers. There we go. Ta-da! There, it's back! By the way, these windows are new in your room. They used to be just like little garage windows about that tall. But your parents put these in before we came out last time, which was really quite cool to see. That one's back too, on the left. But the ones in the middle are completely disappeared. Okay. Selje, Norway. You're an artist here as well. We have to catch up some more on chat. Do you want to talk about any other innuendos while we're at it that other Vikings have made?
I don't remember any off the top of my head.
We should write a book, but we have to remember them. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Gotta go up a little bit further. Slotteøl is very good. Very good, says Torben, with 2 R's. He says both of them are good, actually, but is Karl supposed to drink both, like, now? I was trying to convince him to
I'll
share.
share them with my 90-year-old father.
Yep. Karl's father is 90, by the way. Cutest guy. He's going to turn 91 soon, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. He's just like Karl, but shorter. And he actually does trim his beard. But completely white. Let's see. Lindsay says she loves the star thing on the wall. This is a typical Norwegian Christmas star. Swedes have it too. I would say Scandinavian maybe. And probably from IKEA. They you just kind of give it as a flat thing and you fold them up and you have the lamp in the middle. But you light it up. Oh, you're not plugged in. Did you find it? No, we need the plug.
That one needs to go in there.
Go ahead, tell them the Christmas star story.
We already did it on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's been a while. Well, it's like completely over blasted. Yep.
2-3 years ago.
First time I came out. 2020 then it was. Christmas 2020. I was coming out for the first time anyway. They didn't know Karl and I were a couple at the time, or I think... Well, I was originally just going to come out as a friend and let you see your parents, and then all of a sudden...
that was the plan for like 30 seconds.
Well, yeah. Then something happened around December 5th. And then you and I were no longer just friends anymore.
I talked to my father around the 1st of December, then we were not together yet.
No.
And I told him that a friend of mine from work is coming back to stay over Christmas. I hope that's no problem. All right. And then he will keep talking, and I refer to her as she. And he immediately asks, okay, do you need 1 or 2 beds? And I go, probably should have 2 beds. And he says, okay, fine. And then something happened on the 5th.
Too
and
much
on
alcohol.
the 6th, I call him back and say, okay, I think we can, 1 bed will be enough.
And your mother was so impressed because you haven't had a girlfriend in like 12 years, so she puts a Christmas star over the bed and it makes it so extra special. So I told her she can never take that damn star down. It has to stay up all year round. Although it's almost in season again. So that's the Christmas star. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of houses will have these decorating their houses.
You usually have them in front window.
In Sweden and in, I'm pretty sure Finland as well. But yeah, a lot of places in Europe will have like the Christmas star. Yeah, they'll hang from your windows. It's a julestjärna.
Yes. It's one of many old traditions.
Yeah. And they're almost always made out of paper and has like a paper cutting pattern through there. Which of course you can't see now because we turned the light on and overblasted you with our brightness. Where is it? There. You can see the pattern. So it'll always be some sort of a excellent reason for it, says PJ. I agree with you. Maybe we'll leave it off because it shows up better. Of course, now my computer is like really hard to read. Okay, there we go. Let's see, Raymond says, first pick, he is like, howdy kids. Second pick, he is like, get off my lawn. Yeah, you want to tell him about the fun photo I was trying to take? There was a beautiful rainbow in the Viking village, and I was trying to take a picture of it, and Karl was standing in front in this beautiful Viborg tunic that was mine until I got too fat for it. And he wears it better than me. So I thought I'd take a wonderful picture of the Viking Karl with the beautiful rainbow in the background. Can't stand still for a minute. He turned into an orc. Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's like, get off my lawn! Welcome to Viking Valley! Not! I mean, it was like, what in the hell?
I gave you a serious picture in the end, but I was...
You did. I got a good one in the end. We'll put it up on the Viking Valley Facebook page at sometime soon. But unfortunately, Jose was filmed doing an excellent axe throwing that looked epic. You can't even tell he's only about 5 feet tall.
He's taller than that.
Yeah, no, he's taller. He's about the same height as me, so probably 5'6", maybe 5'7".
Georg size.
Yeah, so about there. Anyway, so you can see that one on Viking Valley Facebook page instead. Let's see. Then we're talking about, nope, they're not socks. What stitch are we working on? We played with Dalby today, which we have done before, but it's been such a long time. Got to revisit it, and I guess we kind of touched in on telemark there. Anne says, I guess you're surprised. Duvel is a special beer, but I don't think it's triple. We did get some triple Belgian beer, though, in our stash.
I'm not familiar with the terms. What does it mean that it's triple Belgian? It's more.
Well, it'll say it on the bottle. It'll say triple. Oh, yeah, that is a
It
triple.
does say triple Belgian.
Okay. Well, read the back of the label. What does it say about Belgian triple? I didn't think about that. I also noticed that the IPAs also have a double IPA. Indian Pale Ale has also a double Indian Pale Ale, but this is a...
Belgisk trippel er en øltype utviklet av trappistmunker. Det er en tysk, et lyst, sterkt, overgjæra øl med lett kropp. Belgian triple is a type of beer brewed by the Trappist monks. It's a light, strong, over-fermented beer with a light body.
You sound better in English than you do in Norwegian.
That's because this is...
Really strong beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've already read it in Norwegian when I read it in English.
I know, that's true. I'm just teasing you. Raymond says, need a Swiss Army knife, by the way. Oh, yeah, that'll open everything then. Actually, we have a Leatherman. Those things are awesome, but I don't think that's here. Okay, I'm a little behind here. PJ says, I'm still playing with the Bosnian crochet despite the repetitive strain in my arm. No pain, no gain, right? That's right. Although I did find out when I pinched a nerve in my neck, all I had to do was fly to Denmark, and most of it went away. So anytime my neck starts hurting again, I'm flying to Denmark.
I have a harpoon. M72
Is that what we're calling it?
rocket launcher tube and a ball and chain, but I have no Swiss Army knife in this room.
Okay, read the innuendos in that. How many were there? I have a harpoon and a ball and chain. That's me, I'm the ball and chain. Oh, God, here it comes. Susan's making her first pair of mittens, and I think I made the thumb too long. Left it low, didn't really know it stretched long ways. But you can always kind of cut off not the row that you want it at, but a little bit higher, and then tighten it up and stitch it down.
This is a harpoon.
Well, you gotta hold it still. We didn't get to... Oh my God, that thing is flipping heavy. You could go whaling with this thing.
Yeah, that's what this man's for.
Yeah. And... See, I bet you thought I was the ball and chain.
No Swiss Army knife.
It's a mace, not a ball and chain.
This is a ball and chain.
Not to mention that's not a ball and chain. You got a pair of balls there. Jeez, they're heavy.
There are different types of maces, and the typical mace is just this.
The stars.
If you add chains to it, it's a flail.
Yeah.
And if you add a ball with spikes on it to the chains, it's a ball and chain.
It's a spiky ball and chain. Okay, let's see. Catching up a little bit. I got a little too far behind. Garcia's... I like the whale. You can go harpooning. We're going to go to Greenland. Bjornard is here, by the way. He says that's your nephew. One of those conversations you have when doing reenactment. No, I mean, not your nephew. He's your brother-in-law. Yeah, that's right, because Kaya made an honest man out of him. They got married. Yay! Let's see. One of those conversations you have when doing reenactment, like how the Norwegian word for textiles and drugs are the same. Stuff.
Yep.
It's called, yeah, that's right. It's called stuff. Means fabric, but also drugs is stuff, which is like stuff but with an O. Raymond says, what is that word? Oops, I got a little too far back, so I can't remember what that one was. Torben says, in the room you almost blew up with your homemade fireworks. Story time.
Yep.
Go ahead, tell it. How did you blow this room up with fireworks? We could have never had the Christmas star moment if you did.
It's not. It wasn't really homemade fireworks. Let's call it repurposed fireworks. Mm-hmm. Because me and a friend of mine basically pulled our money together and bought a lot of New Year's rockets and that sort of thing. And then we decided to just cut them into tiny pieces, take out the explosive bits, put all of this into the biggest container we could find, and then blow it up in one big boom. Inside one of the rockets, they are now illegal in Norway, basically, because of when you shoot them into the air, the stick that keeps them straight will fall back down again and occasionally impale somebody's eyes, so no longer legal. But inside one of those things, you have a grayish rough powder and some chunky black balls. I thought, and I readily admit I was absolutely 100% completely bloody wrong about this, but I thought that what burned...
Sorry, it might have hiccuped a minute. So your black balls...
It looks like we are hiccuped.
Yeah, we froze for a second because the screensaver is on for some reason. Go a couple of sentences before the black balls, your black balls.
Okay, we're back.
Yep. Sorry about that.
So I thought that, I was completely wrong about this. I thought that the black balls that were inside the grey powder were just there to color the explosions. I thought they had no explosive powder whatsoever. My friend is arguing against this and says that no, I'm pretty sure these things burn at the very least. And I said, okay, let's test it. Let's cut off a piece of it, and we had a candle on the middle of the table. Cut off a little piece of it, put it on the edge of your knife, and hold it into the candle and see if it burns or explodes or does whatever. And while he is doing that, I'm nonchalantly, this is back in the days when people were still smoking inside, I'm nonchalantly sitting in an office chair and rolling a roll-up cigarette. Then the explosion happens. It was like getting hit over the head with a wet towel and an enormous boom. And I can't really account for the next couple of seconds, but when I basically get back to my senses, I'm already over by the door, planning to go up to my father and mother and confess that, yeah, no, it was me, don't worry, I almost blew up the house, we're fine.
Idiot.
But when I go back and see the panic reactions, what I did was I was in the process of rolling a cigarette. I've taken the paper and the tobacco and just crunched it together and thrown it into a corner, and then I walked over there. My friend, he's not fat, but let's say that's compared to me is pretty chubby.
Everybody is chubby compared to you. A popsicle stick is chubby compared to you.
He was sitting in a sofa with open arm leans. And there is about this much space beneath the arm lean before the sofa cushions. And he had pushed himself halfway through that. Obviously, we were super lucky. It was New Year's Eve, so my parents, when they hear a big explosion, I just think it is somebody else shooting a rocket a little bit too close to the house. Yeah. They never caught on. But this explosion was like one grain from one rocket. So we, when we calmed down a little bit, we basically went, okay, they explode, so let's put them in with all the other things. And in the end, we had a tube about this long, maybe this wide, that we filled with everything we had. We glued a box of gombe to the end of it.
Gombe?
Yep, we have eaten it here.
Oh, yeah, go back a couple of Christmas episodes where we have strange Norwegian food, you'll see gombe.
It's a plastic...
like liquid brown cheese.
It's a plastic box about this size, and it fits perfectly to close the end of the tube. Then we used a piece of actual dynamite ignition cord. The problem is that this ignition cord didn't really belong to me. It belonged to another friend of mine. And the last time I blew something up, I used way too much ignition cord.
The last time I blew something up? How often do you say that? I'm sorry.
It happens quite frequently. But by his taste, I used way too much ignition cord. So you had something like 90 seconds from I lit the fuse until the thing went boom. So he basically goes, okay, you can use my ignition cord, but do not take this much. And then he gives me like this much ignition cord. That's like 10, 15 seconds. So we light it and we, yeah. No, I'm confessing to criminal acts, but we put
Oh,
it,
as long as it's not staying up on the internet for everyone to
and
find.
it's also, this is back in the early 90s.
It's 9%
So
in
I'm
that bottle.
pretty sure it is over the statute of limitation for
Okay.
you
could have just...
I think it goes in the category of attempted vandalism. Because what we did with this tube is to put it right next to a public building down here. It's basically the county's storage for technical equipment and that sort of thing. And it's made out of, what's bølgeblikk in English?
Bergerblik. Like a wave target?
No,
A blick is something that you shoot arrows at.
that would be a blink, a target,
Oh.
but this is blick. It's a typical roofing material that can, when you look at it in a profile, it looks like this.
Oh, like a roof tile. But yeah, but
Yes,
this one's
but
shaped
it's
like
made
this.
out of big sheets of metal.
Yeah, and these ones are they also, you know, usually they're terracotta or something, but this is metal.
This is metal.
The shiny ones. Ah, that house down there has them. Let's
No.
see. No? That one down there, not that one, that one.
No, houses that people actually live in would have this.
Okay, on to the next point. Sorry.
Well, okay, the building is built out of big sheets of metal that are kind of wavy. And we put this big tube next to the wall, lit the fuse, and ran like the devil himself was right behind us. Dived into a snowbank, turned around, and see this great explosion. And obviously it blows away the gumbo box that's on top of it immediately, and that flies under the
Liquid brown
under
cheese
the
everywhere.
rafter of the building. And then you have a kind of continuous explosion in this area. You should probably finger the thing
Yep.
again.
So there you go.
And the entire house is basically going bow, wow, 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 wow. And for maybe 2 or 3 days afterwards, we are pretty sure that we are subject for a police investigation that actually never happened. It was just another explosion on a night with a lot of explosions, New Year's Eve. So
I declare you no longer get to use matches in the house. Just saying. Okay. Lindsay says, by the way, no, actually, we'll get to Torben here first. Torben says the double IPA, which Indian Pale Ale, is boiled longer so that the vorter, oh, what the heck is the vorter again, is concentrated, hence a stronger beer. You know what a vorter is? Like vorter, that's what it says, the vorter. He's speaking Norglish. Vorter. Vorter. V-E-R-T-E-R.
I think that is
Vorter.
the goop that he used to make beer from.
The goop?
Like the thing that...
Kvike?
yeah, like that.
Yeah, which is
But water is another way of doing it.
Oh, okay.
Kvike is a...
It's the grain.
Let's say that, if I understand correctly, you have different types of goop. One
Yeah.
type of goop would be
Maria.
kvike, and another type of goop would be water.
Yeah.
Torben, you know about this, so correct me if I'm wrong, and that is very plausible right now.
Yeah, it could be. I'm kind of far back in the conversation here, too. By the way, we're running low on time soon. Well, actually, we still have 15 minutes left, but I have to do some show and tell. We went because we stopped at Treasures. Let's see. Lindsay has not been Nalbinding in a bit, currently making a PowerPoint presentation about fractures and making a dragon suit. That's an interesting combination. I like that, a power presentation about fractures and making a dragon suit. But okay, she's keeping busy, so that's okay. Sometimes you gotta rest the arms a little bit too. Sue says that thing would be awesome in a zombie apocalypse. Your weapons here, by the way. Amazing! Oh my god, that's horrible. I am modern for stuff. This is Raymond because they're learning about this stuff. Stof is the same in Danish, says Maria, which it makes it funny when we call the fabric stores for stuff or stove pusher. It's true because it's like calling them a drug dealer. My mom's the quilt store that my mom used to help out at and spends all her money at one point. It's no longer open now anyway, but they used to have a sign in the above the cash register that said your husband called. He said you can get whatever you want. That's a stuff pusher. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and Matthew Hemnes is here from Hames, from England, Egan, Minnesota, by the way. I was going to say the other mountain came out a bit, but nope, it got lost again. The fog is as thick as pea soup. He did the same thing with fireworks and friends at Apple River, Wisconsin. You can get away with more in Wisconsin than you can in Minnesota. We all know about crossing the border. I don't think you couldn't buy fireworks in Minnesota, but you could buy them in Wisconsin for a while. Anyway, but now I'm sure everything's changed since I've lived there. It's been about 25 years. Raymond says, I am moving for stuff. My stuff pusher will make me feel kushly. He's been studying. Kushly. Cozy from last week. Let's see. Albert says you fucking made an IED. What is an IED?
Improvised explosive device.
Oh my god, the fact that you knew that.
Absolutely correct.
Corrugated steel, said
But,
Raymond.
I must say...
It is corrugated steel. That's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of those tiles down there, but it's not. It's corrugated steel. Okay, sorry. PJ says, Drat, it won't post my comment too long. Oh no. We'll get it in there. She says, I and friends once made a small rocket with match heads and foil. Oh, and launched it from a human spine. Oh my god. The rocket landed on the thatched roof of the church, and luckily it didn't set fire to it. Holy crap. Fireworks that fly over so many feet all over a certain size are not allowed in Minnesota. That's right. Oops, I lost my comment there, but it'll come up here. There we go. Are not allowed in Minnesota, but everyone goes to Wisconsin and brings them back to shoot them off over the houses and cars in crammed cities. No, it's true. And the police are patrolling those. I mean, there's a bridge that goes over the Bong Bridge, and then there's another one further back, and they know what they're looking for. They're looking for people who decided that they wanted to drink 1 hour longer, so they go over to Wisconsin, and then when they come back, but they're also with them.
I also see that Turban answered the Wörter question.
Yep, Wörter is the beer before you put in the yeast.
Okay.
Okay.
So then I was wrong, because there
Worts is Wörter in English. I don't know if we can
there
call
are
it
not
worts.
two types of goop done. Let's say you have goop that is not that has no yeast in it. That would be Wörter.
Yeah.
And then you have goop that already has the yeast in it, so that would be Kvike.
Yeah.
If I understand correctly.
That sounds about right. To give context to the spine, it was on the archaeological excavation. Okay. Oh my god. Destroying history one firework at a time.
No, but I'm glad the alternative would be a living human.
Yeah, okay. That's
so.
true. All right, I'm going to have you show one more thing here, Karl. Give me your beer. Let's see. Let's put that over there. You can lift up the thing. Let's see. And I'll show you. I'm going to make a hole in the holes that I put in my bags for drawstring.
Do you want me to lift up the thing?
Lift up the thing. There you go. Hold it.
The phone.
Yep, hold the phone. Boy, this is really difficult. Turn. Okay, point at my fingers here. The computer. There we go. So if I'm going to make holes around, this is one way I'll do it. I want the hole to be about this big. So I'm going to, about 2 stitches worth. So I will make, instead of connecting to the next row first, I'll just do the stitch. So, and this was Dalby again, by the way. So that's 1. And then I'll do 1 more because 1 is for some reason not enough. I just realized I got to stretch out my yarn. Okay. So 1 more because one of them is always a little too small. Okay. And then I'll skip 2 stitches and go in this one, the 3rd one. So not that one, but the 3rd one, and then continue again. And I'll maybe do 4 more stitches before I do the next one. But every hole will have a chain, as I call it, making 2 stitches. There we go. So you get this little hole. So 2 stitches in gap anyway, but that's how I make the drawstring holes. But you have to also have the right numbers so that the yarn can go in and out and in and out and in and out and have them both come out. So you have to do a little bit of math to figure out how many of these little holes you need.
Unless I misread the message that just flashed before my eyes. One of your subscribers want lunch advice.
Lunch advice? Lunch advice. It's Max. I'm not sure what I can have for lunch. Maybe some ramen or something real quick. Ramen works. Do we have a favorite ramen? We tried all kinds of weird crap from the foreign food stores in Voss.
Ja,
Did you have a favorite one?
her kids loves all things Asian.
Oh yeah.
So we try to buy the weirdest things we can find when we are there. The only thing I can say that is that hermetically sealed Asian crab cheese is bad. I would not recommend it.
Okay, so maybe not get the crab version of ramen noodles. Okay, so we were shopping today. I have to pick this. I have to empty the
Did you
bag.
steal my bear again?
Yep, I did. Here, you can have it back now.
Thank you.
You're my Saturday alcoholic, apparently. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we got at the secondhand store. What was it called? Filen or whatever from Nordfjordeid.
Oh, I like that guy.
He was good. He saw us coming right away, though, because I saw this secondhand shop. We were looking for another one. We were looking for some store to pick up some reading material from your mother. For your mother. Anyway, as we're driving by, we can't see the store anymore. It's apparently missing, so Karl has been out of the town for too long. But I see a secondhand store in the car immediately. I don't know, I'm driving. I'm not sure how it happened, but it immediately just jerked to the left and parked. So naturally, we had to get out and go into the store to see what they have. And I saw, okay, we'll go back to this stuff here, but I saw these in the window, or no, it was just outside in front of the window. Do you know what those are? Ta-da-da-da. Old wood carders. And these are with little nails, I believe. If not, the second one is anyway. This one does feel like a cardboard, though. Carving combs, yep, and I've been needing these. These things, brand new, with like a rubber on the bottom and everything, brand new, cost a minimum of 1,000 kroner, I'm pretty sure, in Norway at spinnvilt.no. And they're hard to find. So I was really happy to see these. So I got them for 300 kroner, I think it was total. No, 200 for these. That I got a better set. Yeah, that's the next story. Yeah, so anyway, but these ones I will actually keep in use for myself. They're not as old as the next pair. Okay, go ahead. Tell the story, Karl.
I'm impressed with the guy's salesmanship. Because these were outside the shop. So when Karin saw them, she got really excited and picked them up immediately.
Yeah.
And as soon as she goes into the shop, the guy he might have had 20 seconds to prepare this.
Yep. No, literally, we didn't even get our foot in the door. Oh no, he was already had them in his hand.
If he saw you as soon as you walked up to them, then he had 20 seconds to react to it.
Yeah, but he was standing in the door with this next thing in his hand. Go ahead.
So he basically has, soon as she walks through the door with those, he is standing in the door of the store with those.
These. Oops, sorry. There. Turn. There. With these. We're going for the big reveal here, one-handed. Boy, I missed the gimbal. We have to be careful. Look! These are the ones with the real nails. And these are big.
So it was almost a Crocodile Dundee moment. You call that a carder?
That's a carder. Stupid Google Translate does not recognize the letter the one that looks like a zero. The Norwegian letter Sorry, Torben. Anyway, so these carders, and this one has so that you can, you want to demonstrate how that worked?
And I understand that you just put your white in.
Yeah, Raymond says, the Australian, laugh out loud, this is a carder. Yes, these were the 400 kroner carders, and I've decided my boss is going to buy us these for the village. What the hell did you do? Oh, one of Karl's weapons fell down. There's a ghost.
No, it was already there. I don't know what it did.
I don't know, but no beers were harmed in the doing that. And then this is the other one. So this one sits on your lap. So you see there's no handle on this one. But it sits on your lap. I mean, it could have had something there maybe at one point. I'm not sure, but...
Well, he said it went on the table.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, on the table could do. Yeah, you would have to be. Because you see all of these are going this way. But these are all made with little nails. And this one is not cardboard going around here. And then you have this one here, which you can hold like that or like that. So you can really drag them through. And you can see these nails then obviously go this way. Looks like a giant brush to de-shed my cat. Karl, go get your cat. Let's try it.
This cat,
But these are massive. Look how big that is.
we could use something like this on Fuzzy, but my father's cat doesn't shed.
No, your father's cat doesn't shed. His father's cat is the Siamese cat, whereas Fuzzy, I am pretty sure, has got about at least 50% of Norwegian forest cat in him.
Fuzzy is like a hairball with a tiny bit of personality and no intelligence.
The hat fell off. I just wanted to point that out. No, my cat Fuzzy is horrible. Okay.
I got along with the guy just fine, but...
So these we're gonna literally, we've had some issues with increased tour. We have increased tourism, which is absolutely awesome in the village. But we have some issues with tourists with light fingers.
Tourists.
Tourists. What did you think I said?
We have increased tourism in the village.
We have not increased Twirl the boss in the village, no. Anyway, but unfortunately, with increased tourism, there's also increased chance of theft. So these ones, also because of the way they are, these will not be meant to be tested in the village. These will, I don't even want them to get wet or left out in the rain on accident. So these ones we will probably somehow attach to the textile house so that they, people can touch them, but they can't, with some force take them down, but they won't be sitting there using them.
It's kind of sad.
We're Gummalardi. I have no idea how old these are. Did you remember him saying?
Yeah, he was speculating about 100 years old.
Yeah, so it's no way near Viking age, but it is close enough to what we would expect to see in the Viking age that it will pass in the village. For a display, at least.
Holy hell, woman.
Okay, I just pissed off Mr. How you doing, Karl?
Now, if 100 years old is close enough to be the Viking age, then the T4 is Viking age.
I'm American. Okay. 100 years old is a long time in where I come from.
Yes, because your country was invented like yesterday.
1850 came my city. Okay, so anyway, we got one more thing because I see we're literally 3 minutes to go. That was the nice wonderful thing, but we will hang these up on the textile house for display, so it stays out of the rain. But that was the other. This is the other treasure. Big bolts of thick hand. This is actually off-white. It's a natural color. It looks a little yellow because of the light in the room. But anyway, this is hand-spun, or not hand-spun, but hand-woven wool. And it's quite thick. You can see there the pattern. Karl's dad is almost Viking age. You're not wrong, says Torben.
By your logic, yes.
Yep. But you can see how thick this one is. So this is wonderful. This is enough to make Karl at least a tunic. I don't know if it would make a kaftan, but it is at least enough to make him a tunic. So, and this is wool. So we were very happy to find this. And now I have something to do with it. But, this is also all pretty much, it's a little on the felted side. So I'm pretty sure I could cut it and not have too much of an unraveling issue, although I would still tuck down the ends.
I would say that if you're doing Viking in the winters, the one piece of clothing that absolutely have to be warm is the tunic.
All right, let's see what this will look like on you, Karl. If you spill beer on it and die, what do you think?
She said and puts it right into my beard-filled beard.
So what do you think? Is that going to be a good color on him? Karl, you're looking like a puddle over there. You did not drink that whole beer, did you?
Not entirely, but most of it.
How much do you have left in your glass? Okay, and how much would you say is left in that bottle?
An equal amount, pretty much.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
a bit less left in the bottle.
Karl. Saturday night drunk.
I'll give the rest of it to my father.
There's not going to be any left to give to your father.
Yeah.
Like a spit, a teaspoon.
It's about
Your
this
father
much.
is from the Viking age, Karl. He can handle it.
How drunk do you want a 91-year-old to be?
He's cute. Okay, and this is the other fabric that we found. This is a little bit looser weave, as you can see from comparing the two. This is, maybe I should find the ends. It's easier to show from there. Oh man, I do miss the gimbal. Then people wouldn't get so seasick. Okay, There you can see the weaving difference. This one's a little thinner, a bit more natural, a grainy color in it. Oops, sorry, like that. But you can see the weaving. So I'm excited. We got these, was what, 500 kroner, and you've got about 2.5 meters? About, yeah. So there we go. This is our treasure. We had way too much fun. This was called, oh, don't pull the star off the wall.
Yeah, and that guy was also coincidentally.
You don't know that Korda is up live roop watching your stream. Bjornara says your father is probably upstairs. Your father, which is his father-in-law, is probably upstairs live streaming.
I would be surprised, but it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility.
Filialen, that's where we got it from. Filialen is the name of the store in Eidfjord.
And the guy is also kind of a Viking reenactor.
Oh my god, he was so excited to see us.
Yeah. I don't think he's part of Sagastad or something like us.
No.
What I think is he has played a Viking in a play or something, and he is taking it a little bit more seriously than people typically do.
It's a good color on you. I think it'll be okay. Until you spill all your crap on it and we have to dye it green.
Yeah. No, one of the last things Eve said to me before she left for the season was Karl never change, always be the green Viking of Gudvangen.
You know what?
So
this one makes you look like Jesus. The whiter one. Oh my god, this is look what his hat! That wonderful hat I fixed, it needs a new cat on it.
whatever kind of animal you used for fur.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to let it get soaked in rain and then do this. Over and over and over every day.
If I was working somewhere else, I might be facepalming less. It's entirely possible.
Karl is shedding. Most guys lose the hair on their head, not this one. Look at it all. It's just... I fixed that for him. I decorated it. It's because actually this is what happens if you don't let your hat dry out, or if you touch it when the fur is if you don't let your fur dry out, and if it's wet, it'll just start. You suck.
I keep trying to dry my clothes between work days.
I have to catch up a little bit, and then we let you go on.
I ask different coworkers and bosses every day, where can I dry my clothes? And I get different answers every time, and none of them
We have
actually
2 dry
work.
rooms now. Now we just have to crank the heat.
We have 2 dry rooms that are dry until I put wet clothes in them. Then they are wet, and I keep being wet for the next 2 days.
Lindsay says, I ran a PDF knitting pattern through a Google Translate from Norwegian to English, and it struggled with special characters, also knitting perms. Actually, they have a knitting glossary now, which will help quite a bit. A knitting and crochet glossary, so that you can get because Americans love abbreviations on their patterns, where the Norwegians will usually just spell out what it is. But you can see that a pearl in knitting stitch is vrang in Norwegian, which means backwards, or the wrong side. She knows, she knits.
I remember you said earlier that this one...
Cora reacts to Karl and Karin, says Kaya. That would be a good one. We need to stream your father reacting to you going, oh my god, not the Christmas star again. Oh, we're actually on overtime now. Wait a minute. Bjornara says, what you don't know is that Cora is up in the living room watching your live stream. Oh yeah, we did, yeah. Yeah. Blir so fint. We'll fix him up. Maybe we should get you like polar bear rim on your head this time.
I think that if I end up in an argument with my father about the Viking Age, I'm probably right. But if it is any other subject,
your father will kick your ass.
Just take it.
That guy knows everything.
You saved a lot of time.
Yeah. No, you can see where Karl gets it from. Yeah. Also, I'm glad you guys like the card anyway. I'm super excited about it. Oh, Matthew says, prison ramen, butter-flavored ramen, untrained unstrained. So good. You know what they do in Norway? This is actually something.
What the hell is an untrained prison ramen?
Unstrained is what he meant. Anyway, no. No, but this is something I thought was really weird. One of the first jobs I ever had here, actually the first job I ever had in Norway, was working at a grocery store. And then you get these kids that come in after school and they buy these little packets of ramen noodles. But it's actually called Yum Yum because it's like the cheap version, the generic version, ramen, the actual one, ramen or Mr. Lee. That's name brand here. So they buy the Yum Yum version of it, but they just eat them like a cracker. They don't cook them. They just take them out of the package and they ate them. And they would buy these because it was like 2 or 3 kroner each at a time. Now I think they're more expensive. They probably cost 11. But this is about, a little over 20 years ago anyway. But they would just eat those straight. And so I thought, what in the hell is this? So I actually tried it. It's not bad, but I would have never thought of eating uncooked, just like the cracker. And when it comes out of the package, just bite right into it. You don't put the stuff on top. You just bite into that and chuck the packages. You never did that as a kid? What is okay? So that's like a 2000. That's a millennial thing, for Norwegian kids in Oslo apparently. But I thought that was kind of hilarious. Oh, they like the treasures.
I remember back in 2004 when I was working at Spongereid, when I was staying with Kaja and Bjørnare. They were eating a lot of noodles, and my reaction was basically, people actually eat this shit?
Oh, no, I lived off that when I first moved to Norway. That's all I could afford.
Yeah, but that was 2004. So before that, I know that noodles was a thing because in Chinatown, in American movies, there is always somebody selling noodles. But I didn't have a good idea about what it was. It was like, okay, so this is some spaghetti-like object.
No, that's poor starving college kid food.
I get it.
Yeah.
No.
Now you get it. Okay. And by the way, Drea's here. Chicken flavored ramen with broccoli, sugar, snap peas, squash, zucchini with cherry tomatoes in it, mushrooms added at the end, just to warm them up a little. My favorite. Well, that actually sounds really good.
That sounds like a Starbucks order for a ramen place.
That's where ramen becomes an ingredient and not the main course, I think. That sounds really good, actually. That is like, that's totally dressing it up. Okay. Albert says, we did that, but we crushed them in the package and poured in the seasoning. Oh, that's another way of doing it. So then you could just like... He's a millennial. He would know.
I don't know.
Okay. So next week we're back in Gudvangen.
The thing is, most of my life was before 2004.
Yeah, but you're not that much younger than me, little boy.
You too. But Albert, not so much.
Albert, not so much. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the kids that I had visiting through Rema Tucson, well, let's see, they were teenagers then, so they're probably well into their 40s now. God, 30s. 30s or 40s. Oh my God, I'm getting old. This is not good. Okay, next week.
Norwegians eating uncooked noodles since 2004.
So, by the way, how do you like the beer, Karl?
It works.
No crap. So you're feeling a little devilish. You did turn into a devil.
Yeah, no, I'm buying more of this.
Yeah.
For certain.
Yeah, Karl, Torben was right. He said you're in for a treat. Okay, so now we're starting to get reflection in the window, but you can see there's another mountain there. If Karl runs over and turns off the light, you can see it even better.
You want to turn off the mountain?
No, turn off the light in your room, you moron. And then you can see outside a little bit better. You can see what's happening with daylight, though, by the way. This is what 7 o'clock looks like in Norway. There, now you can see the mountain starting to come back from the mist. So there you go. Selje, Norway. It's absolutely beautiful. From inside Karl's room, under the Christmas star. Where is the light switch on that? I think it's under my butt.
It's very close to the Norwegian plug.
You're so horrible. Okay, there you go. The Norwegian star. Karl, we really gotta go. So we'll be back next Saturday. We'll be in the village.
Yeah.
Did you have a plan for next Saturday? I don't know, a theme plan, something.
Was I supposed to?
I thought we have no plan.
Nah, I was thinking if we can get Anders Hovland to be part of it, that's good.
Yeah, not the blacksmith Anders, the other Anders. Yeah, and then bring out some more outer beer.
When we give him some beer, we can drink the Audra box that I brought with me to Selje.
Huge one. It was such a big can. Okay. All right, well, we'll see you next Saturday, and I will find some more needle binding stitch too to play with. Enjoy the Christmas star and your family. Picturesque view. Yeah. He's so cute. Okay. Bye. We'll see you. Thanks for
Bye.
catching on, even though it was late.